Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostle who is a great millstone, who taught us the truth and who rule well. A mighty shalom to the brothers teaching week in and week out on the four corners of the earth, prophesying the downfall of Esau, Edom, as well, as the deliverance of the hopeful elect Israelites. And another shalom, to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, as well as the ones like unto the speckled bird. To you, we say shalom. So with this lesson, we're going to go into various topics as well. We're going to go into an article as well. We're going to get started. You want to start with Isaiah 19?
If I may, I can give a little background. Yeah, because, we coming in a time where the, enemy is coming down like a flood, man. Okay? And he's going to, really show his horns, when it comes to, persecuting the people, man, persecuting the saints, man. So, hey, he's gonna come down with great wrath, man. Why? Because he knows you have a short time, man. And with that, it's certain unrighteous decrees, that he has to put in place, in order to, which defame you, man. You see what I'm saying? And just to justify his coming down upon you, man. You see what I'm saying? But first day he got to defame you in the news, defame you amongst your family and to make them believe that
Slander.
Yeah, that slander, man. Why? Because he's the accuser of the brethren, man. Somebody can get that as well too. He's the accuser of the brethren. And he's gonna come down with great wrath, man, and try to defame you so he can feel justified, and to making this move, man. This is what the article we about to come into, man. We the scriptures say we're not ignorant of his devices, man. Okay?
What he's doing is he's using this whole immigrant crisis, with the Northern Kingdom, which is the fucking land is filled with immigrants. This land was built on fucking immigrants.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a sense, they stole,
Absolutely.
But at the same time, he's going to use that plateau
Yep.
to justify him signing these unrighteous decrees. Because in reality, he's going to wage war on all you people.
Absolutely.
Even you Edomites.
Lesser Edomite.
Y'all going to catch it too as well. Because that's why I say he's going to come down with great wrath upon all the people.
That's it.
Not just Jake. Jake going to get it, but it's going to be all you people, man.
Yep.
Because his whole goal is pretty much to get every nation under pretty much
One consent
under this MOTP.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can start off.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
Yep.
And the water shall fail from sea, and the river shall be waste and dried up. And if I may, that goes into what? The economy. And what these terrorists is doing, which the elites purposely doing these things. They make it seem like it's really a trade war between China, but really they want to collapse this dollar globally, man.
Absolutely.
To bring forth this digital system, man.
Absolutely.
That's why, because the waters, because back in ancient Egypt, the Nile River was pretty much, they worship it. It was one of their main sources of income. They got a lot of money out because people trade by sea.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fish market.
Yep.
The different lilies and shit, the things that grew amongst it.
Absolutely.
And also, the Nile River flooded. So the land that was next to it was very fertile.
Absolutely.
So, but the Nile, this is like unto what? Speaking of now, the economy now. That's why you got the term bank.
Yep.
You get the currency,
yep. Exactly.
the current, the bank.
Yeah, because it's moving. And that's what that's what that alternate current, direct current is, the ACDC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's thriving. You know what I'm saying? And we in that, and what's spiritually known as Egypt as well right now, man, known as America, man.
Yeah.
What the brother is getting into, man.
It's the flow of money.
Absolutely.
It says, verse 6, and they shall turn the rivers away, far away, and the brooks of the fish shall be emptied and dried up.
Right, it's gonna come to a point, man, where all that's gonna be ceasing, man. And these devils are setting up the ranks, and setting it up to where it's gonna be a totalitarianism type of government, man. To where you're gonna have just the elites, the 1% ruling, and no type of in between, man. It's gonna be elites and poor, man. And their mission is to get everybody under one consent, under that RFID, you know what I'm saying, to be able to control the masses, to control the people, okay? And to heap all the people unto him, man. You know? This is the agenda in a nutshell of this devil, man, because it's total control, man.
You got the Agenda 2030.
Come. You know?
That's why he's hastening these things up. These devils want to get everything established by the 2030.
Absolutely.
Now, how forbid we be that alone, but hey,
Right.
we know that the time in these times, man, we believe in our lifetime, based off what we see and being through the prophecies, that hey, the end is near.
Come. Come.
It says,
yeah, because we hasten in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, the scriptures say, man, no man, Yahweh Shai said, no man knoweth the day of the hour, man. You know, but the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, man. You know, but the Lord has given us a measurement of time or a measurement of arrival of when he was going to come, man. What's that? Matthew 24, 2nd Ezra chapter 9. These times that the Lord gave us in order for us to get ready on what's to come, man. You know? Go ahead,
It
bro.
says, and the river shall, verse 6, and the river shall turn far away, and the brooks of the fish shall be emptied and dried up.
Mm-hmm.
The reeds and the flax shall wither.
Mm-hmm.
The paper reed by brooks by the mouth of the brook, and everything sown by the brook shall wither, be driven away, and be no more.
Mm-hmm.
and Apostle Tahaj did a mighty lesson on to Nero, Caesar, which we believe through the spirit that Trump is that guy.
Okay.
He did a lesson going to how, pretty much Nero Caesar, pretty much played the instrument while he watched Rome burn.
Rome burn, come.
And he's responsible for Rome burning, man.
Absolutely.
And the same thing he's doing now, but Rome is burning what? The economy is burning.
Yeah, it's falling, man.
It's falling. And what he's doing right now, playing golf.
Playing golf, come.
He don't give a fuck about you people, man.
Absolutely,
Because
man.
he's doing it bidding the elites.
Absolutely.
So you people don't know what the hell's going on, man. Because when you look at his whole cabinet, who he got all lined up behind him?
Oh, man. Amalek.
Amalek, man.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
you say MAGA, make America, knows make Amalek great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is Amalek is the so-called JOOs.
Yeah, small hatters.
Yeah. It says, and the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast anchors into the brook shall lament. The investors,
Mm-hmm.
because when you fish, it's like
Right.
you're investing. Because why? When you invest,
Yeah.
it takes time, patience.
Yeah, you throwing out that line, you throwing out
It's
time.
not guaranteed that you're gonna get back,
Absolutely.
on your return.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening with the economy.
Yeah, the stock market.
Yeah, the stock market.
Yeah, you seeing that the gold, is at what, 32 or 33, almost 3,300. You know what I'm saying, for an ounce now. You see what I'm saying? It's never been that way. You know what I'm saying? And never, man. It's never been that high. But this devil is pretty much purposely sabotaging the economy, man. Why? Because they want it to fall, man. This is their whole agenda. Hey, it's not just an American thing, man. This is a global thing, man. You see what I'm saying? That's why it says it's gonna cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, man. You know what I mean? Hey, this is not just a thing that's gonna happen in America, man. This is gonna be, that at least is ruling the whole earth now, right? So it's gonna be a worldwide tragedy, man.
And they all divided.
Absolutely.
The beautiful part about it, they're divided in this plan.
Yeah.
That's why Jungle versus the Egyptian divide. Egyptian versus this shit all gonna lead to civil unrest, civil war. That's why you have regards for the kings and princes.
Yep.
Especially when these Edomites really find out. What's that? A lot of them waking up now. They gonna look at
Mm-hmm.
why? What they going through? These terrorists destroying the middle class.
Yeah.
Because that's what the devils want.
Yeah.
Any thriving society, you have to have a middle class.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like the backbone
Yeah.
keeps everything in check.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now without the middle class, now you have
Imbalance.
It's imbalance, man.
Yeah. It's kind of like not having a spine, in your body, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fall, man.
Yeah.
And this is why they're implementing that, artificial intelligence and that MOTB, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna, try to rely on, man. They're gonna try to rely on their sorcery. You see what I'm saying? To be able to, what Elon say he had to summons, demons, man, to actually get this up and going, man. But I forget the dude. I think he's from overseas somewhere. He's the father of AI. I forget his name.
Let me look him up.
Yeah, Google it. It's just Google the father of AI. They was speaking. He had to step down from his position. I forget where he's from, but you got to bring it up.
John McCarthy.
John McCarthy, you know, and where is he from? I think he's from somewhere overseas.
Let me see.
Yeah, but the point is, he had ended up stepping down. Why? Because he was saying that, you know, this artificial intelligence, man, is pretty much gonna turn on man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so something that he stepped down to do. Hey, Elon Musk stepped up in that place, like, hey, man, no, we gonna do this.
Yep.
You know, go ahead.
That's what the Lord said for the wisdom song.
Advising of idols, yeah, come.
It's the beginning
Yeah.
and the end of all the spiritual communication.
Absolutely, the beginning and end, man. Hey, that's what happened in the garden, man. You know, and that was at the beginning where, you know, Eve, starting with Eve, you know, because she's the beginning of sin, you know, and through her we all died, you know. But that's where Adam, you know, fell, you know, for that idolatry worship, man. And guess what, man? It's gonna be the end of this thing too, man. You know. Go ahead, big bro. You got more?
It says, and the fishes, and verse 8 again. And the fishes also shall mourn in all their cast angles into the brook shall admit. And they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave network shall be confounded. Warehouses.
Yep.
Hey, these merchant ships. And they say a lot of these merchant ships are drying up.
Yep. Yeah, the trucks. You know, the transportation, the truck. When them trucks stop transport, you know, this economy is done. You know.
And what they try to do with the trucking industry, they try to bring what self-driving trucks.
Yeah, yeah.
They try to weed out the truck driver.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
completely fucking wicked. That's why a lot of these truckers, those over the last years, they've been transitioned from trucks because usually truck drivers are skilled.
Mm-hmm.
Stick shift.
Sticks, yeah.
It's a
Now it's
trade.
automatic.
Yeah, it's automatic.
And then now they open up what for a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, to become truck drivers as well too. Now you're seeing an influx of women, you know what I'm saying, becoming truck drivers in their prime too, man.
Yep.
You know, hey, which is gonna cause more mass confusion, man. You know what I mean? And you women are at ease. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you gotta be careful, man, because you gonna end up missing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hauling some goods in the town where motherfucker, they gonna rape your ass and take
Yeah,
your truck.
absolutely.
But
Man.
certain day, when these stores start closing down, they see you rolling, they see a certain truck.
Yeah.
You best believe motherfucker gonna be blocking the road.
Up in
Fuck out
arms,
the truck,
yeah,
man.
up in arms,
What's what you
absolutely.
got back here?
Absolutely, man.
You know,
Absolutely.
they may take your way, get you, they blow your head off, or you know, if you're a woman, they find a little woman, or a woman, they probably take you, rape you.
Yeah. You're gonna be booty.
Yeah.
Spoiled, man. God, and some of you men too. You know? Go ahead, bro.
That's in verse 10. And they shall be broken in purpose thereof, and all the sluices and the ponds for the fish. I mean, all that makes sluices and ponds for the fish. Yeah, man. I ain't never heard that word.
Look it up.
Sluices is in verse 10. Verse 10.
God.
Let me see what it said.
Probably food.
Wages.
Oh, you're gonna be tributaries, man. Yeah, you're gonna be tributaries. Wages of war, man. You're gonna be spoils of war, man. You know? Hey, but that's what this is coming into to a place to where, you know, it's gonna be sedition, you know, among men.
Pretty sad.
You know what I mean? And all that, man. You know, this is the times that we're entering into, man. You know? Go ahead, bro. You got a piece of
Someone to finish that.
that should have been
was
that,
it on
yeah.
Well, I mean, I could jump down,
Come.
but I just want to get that article. I
Come.
just gonna finish off.
Come. You got a quick piece of it?
Yeah, what you just paraphrased.
Go ahead.
This is second Esdras chapter 15. And starting at 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Yep.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes,
Yep.
and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Right, and of course they're actually gonna stand in their power, man. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're gonna try to implement that RFID, man. You know? And the enemy is gonna come in like a flood, man, with those black boots, man. Okay? Go ahead,
That's
go
why
ahead.
Esau,
Mm-hmm.
Jake, as a means of distraction.
God.
That's somebody to use blame upon. But meanwhile, this nigga's tanking the economy.
Yeah, done.
You know, that's what that's what they doing. They blaming China.
Yeah.
And people gonna wake up like, no, nigga, it's you,
It's
nigga.
you, God.
You know, that's why they're gonna turn on these government officials. They're gonna realize, these people gonna realize that your government been sold you out.
Yeah.
Your government is bought and paid for by the rich elite family, man.
Exactly.
They've been bought and paid for, man.
Exactly.
Going back way back to fucking Harry Truman and all, you know what I'm saying? Even before him, man. You know?
Absolutely.
And it's all the will of the Lord at the end of the day, because you have no constitutional rights, man.
Absolutely.
You people don't have no goddamn constitutional rights. You know? You think you do. You don't. And he finna show you, and that's what the two things is getting in these devil's way of the MOTB is the American Constitution and the Bible.
Absolutely,
Those two things that needs to go.
Yeah, that's the two things that they're trying to get rid of right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, man. Is that Constitution, because that Bible is a Constitution. Yeah, you know, to us, you know, and of course to them as well too. And it's pretty much a threat to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand that's something to, you know, go against in a sense, man. This system, man. You know what I'm saying? So anything that's going to go against this system, they don't want nothing to do with it, you know? And you're going to be considered as an enemy of the state. You see what I'm saying? And with that, you know, we can segue into that article as well too, because that article, you know, is going to be another one of his devices that he's going to try to pull. You know, mainly that device is for us, you know, to throw us, you know, why? Because we're going to be speaking about it. We're going to be preaching it, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was with the ones with freedom of speech, constitution, right? They got to get rid of that too as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Freedom of press.
Yeah. Con.
You know, they've been attacked at the freedom of Operation Mockingbird.
Con, yeah.
Pretty much out of an alphabet gang, the C to the I.
Con.
Is a.
Con.
You know, pretty much hijacked, you know, all the news outlet in America.
Yeah, yeah.
Globally.
Yeah, that's what that word espionage just goes into as well too, man. Yeah. You know, spying on the people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all that, man, was all, you know, a means to, you know, destroy, you know, the economy, and you know, to bring that chaos, man. You know.
Eat out any of those that have that's contrary to the will.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got it, bro.
The article.
Yeah, let's go into that article.
Alright, it says, how you pronounce this? Habeas
Habeas corpus.
Habeas corpus, gotcha.
Yeah, speak out.
Con, this is CNN.com. It says, what is habeas corpus? The legal procedure Trump is considering suspending.
So habeas corpus is a legal procedure that Trump, you know, is trying to suspend now, man. You know, and it's gonna go into it about the habeas corpus. Go ahead, bro.
It says, what is habeas corpus? Habeas corpus is a legal principle that allows people who believe they are being unlawfully detained or imprisoned to petition for their release in court.
Right, it ain't no coincidence that this devil is trying to, what they say, they trying to open back up Alcatraz. You see what I'm saying? He had the talks of sending people over there to Guantanamo Bay.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying?
El Salvador.
You know. Hey, talking about Americans, man.
Yeah.
You know, like what we said, man. It's a part of the Constitution, man. You know.
Hey, because there was a clip of Joe Rogan. He was speaking out against it, which we know he's a
insider,
probably paid out, you know.
What they say, controlled opposition.
Controlled opposition.
Got
He
it.
said, man, it's kind of wicked. I mean, not wicked. He said that's off because under the Constitution, whether you're born here or you come here,
Right.
you're under their laws of that
Exactly.
land, of the Constitution.
Absolutely.
The Constitution still protects you whether you're a citizen of America or not.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, but now he's trying to get rid of that, man. Which it goes into speaking of rid of those unrighteous decrees, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, precept.
Yep. This Revelations 2:10.
Yeah, because this is just a justification. You see what I'm saying? That he's going to need, you know, to come down on mainly the elect, man.
Black
You
the
know?
witness.
Say it again.
Black the witness.
Absolutely, man. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
To the silence.
Or banish them. You see what I'm saying? It's like the time of the Baptist, man. You know, he was banished to the Isle of Patmos, man. Exactly. Exactly, you know. So we already got a heads up on what, you know what I'm saying, what to expect from this devil. Why? Because we are totally against this government, man. You know, we are actually, you know, trying to set up a new government under Yahweh Shai, man. You know, and spearheaded by Yahweh Shai, man. Because a new government is going to come in. The government goes into what? Control of the mind. You know, that word gov goes into control or govern. Yeah, and ment goes into your mind, man. You know, and the minds of the people now is in mourning, man.
They've been governed, their minds being governed under the control of wickedness.
Wickedness come.
You're going to control the people's minds to persuade the masses to what? To do what is right.
That's right.
First starting off with that rod iron.
Absolutely.
You know, purging out the rebels of our nation.
Absolutely.
Which is going to eventually, the kingdom is going to be there. Every nation is going to fucking follow our laws, man. And
Absolutely.
it's going to get to the point that heathens going to enjoy it.
Yep. Come.
And then you devils, you're going to be eradicated.
Come.
And then they're going to rejoice when that day comes.
Yep. Come.
They're going to be like, man, thank God these people.
Yep.
Like, they see how the earth is going to be set up
Yep.
by the creators, under the creator, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, and they're gonna see how much they were lacking. You see what I'm saying? You know, and we're gonna see how much the earth waxed worse. And then after these devils is eradicated, man, you're gonna, because they're cancer, man. You know what I'm saying? The only thing to do with the cancer, man, is to what? Burn it out. You know, to burn it out of your body, man. You see what I'm saying? And they need to be eradicated, bro, because they are making the earth worse. You know, the whole earth is mourning, man. The whole creatures, yeah, it turned into a wilderness, man. You know, under the control of this devil, man. You know. Go ahead, big bro. Get what you got.
Revelation 2 and 10?
Yeah.
Revelation 2 and 10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried.
Yeah, the Lord told us to fear none of these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Meaning what? Ecclesiastes chapter 2 talks about, my son, when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not hasten in time of trouble, man. You know? So in these times where Jacob's trouble is really here, you know what I'm saying, and he's trying to just set up the ranks right now and move his pieces in place, you see what I'm saying, with these unrighteous decrees and these laws, you know, now he's gonna feel justified to come down the way he need to come down on us, man. You know, but first he has to defame us, you know, and make the masses believe that he's doing a wonderful job to protect the people, you know, the American people or whatever, you know.
Yeah, like you said, his press speech, yeah, we're going to bring military to communities that's heavily crime for black people.
Right.
We ain't crying for no fucking turkey.
Hell no.
If anybody says, fight these cool ass sucker niggas.
Absolutely.
That you set up to save
And how, yeah, these politicians, these Christian pastors, you know, that's actually gonna benefit from that.
Yeah.
You know. But it ain't the average Jake, man. The average Jake don't wanna fuck with, you know. Yeah.
They don't even fuck with the police.
Right. Let alone the military.
Yeah,
God.
Get the hell up out of here.
Exactly.
A lot of these crimes, yeah, Jake do crimes, but a lot of times Esau be lying and overhype the shit.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You know, a lot of shit, you know, it don't gotta say Jake ain't ever doing crazy shit.
Yeah, because we ain't just trying to justify Jake through.
Yeah, Jake do be
2/3 of Jake
Blowing
through.
it out of proportion, though.
You know,
He
but
be blowing it out of proportion.
yeah, but as the king, so is the people. You know, that's just a learned behavior that was learned from what he had actually seen, man. What he actually see you doing in your rulership, man.
This shit global.
Absolutely, you do it on a global stage, man. Jake just do it in his hood, in his neighborhood. You come down on Jake, you know what I'm saying? Like he's the worst thing smoking. When you got the power to actually do this thing, man.
Bomb niggas.
Right, exactly. You send weather patterns, you know, to destroy, like he did in California, man. You know what I'm saying? To destroy whole neighborhoods, man.
Yeah, laser beams from the sky.
Exactly. Yeah, con.
Mountain Dew and niggas.
Exactly, man. You know, hey, a whole fire, you know, been going on. You got all this. You heard about that rich couple down there in California who own, you know, 90% of the water. You see what I'm saying? Over there in that area.
It shouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, you know, yeah, you own the water. You know, you own 90% of the water. You see what I'm saying? And you could have been to put the fires out, but because you own it, they own your, you know. you don't want to put the fires out. You don't want to use your water, man. No, this
Ruin
is
your investment.
well, that was a controlled demolition. You know.
How you own water?
Right. Exactly.
You ain't even create this.
Exactly.
You
God.
know, like the nigga Ness said water
Privilege.
yeah.
Mhm.
Privilege.
Con. Type of shit is that. You know.
Look at that nigga look right.
Con. Yeah.
To show the pride of it, it's a sensible title that you never have.
Absolutely.
Even we ourselves can't comprehend it. Like,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this is, Lord has created literally a perfect feeling.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's the perfect villain, man. You know, that has to be destroyed. You go ahead with that article. Finish up with that article.
It says,
Hey, man, read that again.
it says, what is habeas corpus? It says, habeas corpus is legal principle that allows people who believe
Isaiah 10.
they are being unlawfully detained or imprisoned
Mm-hmm.
to petition for their release from court.
Right, so it ain't gonna be no more right to a jury. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no more unconstitutional rights. You know what I'm saying? Or well, you know, Jake like to throw that out there. Oh man, I know my rights. Oh, you can't do that. Ain't gonna be no more of that.
I know
Yeah.
my rights.
Oh man, as the Constitution says, you know all them videos now that they be trying to go against the
Yeah, police.
yeah, but now what he's doing now is what? Militarizing the police. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And
Go
it's
ahead.
like,
Good.
but if I may, that's why they got to bring robots because 2%.
Oh yeah, we got it right there.
That's why that's why they're gonna need
Send
robots.
send that to him. Say if your phone on 2%, then you need to send that article to him right quick. Like ASAP, because I might have to send you this. Time. Send that to Uriah. You got it, Uriah?
I'm
That
gonna
way
send
you
it
can
to
read the article. Time. Pause the video.
Yeah, I can
Teach me how to do that. Yeah. And that. Oh, well, that's what I need. Just pull that up. You got it? Come. Come.
Yeah, I
You
just
know.
want to get this one last part.
Go ahead, read it up, read. Come. Hey, bear with us. You know. Come.
Yeah, it says how serious would suspending habeas corpus be? It says
Mm-hmm.
it says it will be a national historical disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The executive could just detain you and there would be no recourse.
Yeah, and that showed you with those when the concentration camps was during the time of Pearl Harbor. You know, where those Japanese they started to
In the West Coast.
Yeah, they started to uplift, resurrect a lot of those concentration camps and started illegally deporting those Japanese, man, putting them in concentration camps, bro.
Yep.
Hey, and Japan has not forgotten that as well either, man. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Even though they're allies, to America now, but it's gonna come to a point where, I believe, I'm speaking as a man, I believe China is gonna take over Japan, bro.
They're gonna join together. And
Absolutely,
fire missiles, and North Korea, they're gonna fire missiles on y'all ass. Man.
Absolutely,
It just
bro.
makes sense. Why wouldn't they be cool?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? They right there. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
that's-
saying? They right
I
there.
think you're right, because matter of
Mhm.
fact, they did say with these tariffs,
Mhm.
China and Japan are forced to kind of work with each other.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'll just get it from you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because, hey, well, we already know that, these other nations, what do they say, let the weak say I'm strong. Japan is considered a weak nation compared to America, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna come the way that this devil is putting these tariffs in, and demolition of America, man. Guess what, man? They ain't gonna have no other choice but to join with the BRICS nation, man. With China and Russia. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they're starting to see America for the whore that she is, man. Because America is nothing but a whore, man. And anything about a whore, she only deals with, those who she can benefit off of, man.
Yeah, she use you
Yeah.
until she has no use for you.
Until she has no use for you, man. And then she's gonna get rid of you, man. If you don't want to, and that was shown, through what Saddam Hussein, you know what I'm saying, Muammar Gaddafi. You see what I'm saying? Hey, they didn't want to deal with that whore anymore, man. So what did he do, man? He caused, you know, he came down on them, you know what I'm saying, and made them out to be the next boogeyman. And next thing you know, it's war in Iraq. You know, war with Muammar Gaddafi.
He's backdooring.
Right, you know?
Ultimate backdoor.
Absolutely, man. You know? Which ultimately caused them to be killed, man. You know, what's that? Revelation 13. He said those who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. You know?
Get down and lay down.
Right, and that's the mentality that they in, man. You know? So this is why they're making these unrighteous decrees and coming up with certain ways to defame, the American people, but mainly the elect. You know,
That's their main target.
that's because we're their main target, man.
They can't. What it is, they can't roll on the elect like that. So they gotta be crafty.
They gotta accuse you. You know, that's what that word devil. You know what I'm saying? That word devil goes into the accuser, man.
I think it goes to categorize.
Category, yeah, he putting you in a category, bro, for a reason, man, to destroy you, man. Go ahead, get what you got, bro. You can finish that up.
Oh, that was it. That was it. And the rest of that.
Nah, it's more than that article. You talking about the article?
I did send it to you with your
Your phone gone?
it's on 1%.
Oh yeah,
I
what?
ain't gonna get it before do not disturb.
Oh, come. Yeah, because I don't want you to open it up. And that's good. Could you read a little bit more on it?
It says
Until
obviously.
yours go out.
It says obviously they will do it to try to detain certain non-citizens,
Mhm.
but there's no reason why it's limited to them.
Yeah, ain't no reason why it's limited to the American people, especially when because what they're gonna do is get rid of the Constitution. So that's the main point. Once you get rid of the Constitution, and the only way to do that is to deem martial law. You see what I'm saying? When he deemed martial law, upon America, then guess what? Hey, the Constitution is out of there. Now everything is under the guidance and the rule of the military, man,
The president.
and the president, man.
Who's head of the military? It's the president.
Absolutely.
I think it was they call it the executive. You got the judicial.
Judicial and the executive branch.
Yeah, you got the judicial. I forget the third.
Con. Yep.
I think the president falls in the executive.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely, bro. And that's pretty much their plans, man. That's exactly what he wants to do, man. You know.
Get the third.
Yeah, I forget those three branches.
Yeah, the
Judicial, executive, and damn, see if you can Google it right quick before your phone go out. For the brother, absolutely, and that's exactly what, saying their plans is to do, man. Legislative, come, yeah, through the law, exactly, That's why we got unrighteous decrees. You got that Isaiah 10. Bring that out, bro.
Isaiah 10:1, it says, "Woe unto them that have decreed unrighteous decrees,
Mm-hmm.
and that right grievance which they prescribe."
Right.
They have prescribed.
Right, they prescribed it for who? Hey, yours truly, Jake. You know what I'm saying? Mainly for you 2/3, because really, you know what I'm saying? Really, that's not for the elect, man. Although they're gonna try to, demonize us and come down on us, but really, man, hey, this cruel Lord is militarizing the police and setting up these certain laws. Hey, for you 2/3, man.
Yeah, the Lord gonna use it. It's really just to bring the sword to you niggas. Not
Absolutely.
to say, yeah, someone's gonna have to be martyrs for the truth. But that's really, that sword is being furbished and being sharpened.
Absolutely.
Like it says in the book of Ezekiel 21.
Oh man, get Romans chapter 3. Go ahead, bro.
You
Sorry.
know, like in Ezekiel the 21st chapter, it says the sword is being sharpened. It's being placed in the hand of the slave.
There's 3 where he talks about I think he talks about where he talks about is that in Romans where he talking about where the officer is pretty much not agree with I have to say it quickly, but the officer is pretty much made for if you're doing good.
Oh yeah.
I think it's in Romans 3, starting at the beginning or something like that.
Can I get this one?
Go ahead, big bro.
It's Isaiah 29 and 21.
God.
In fact, I'm starting at 20. It says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught." And who's the terrible one? Esau. And that's the judgment's going to come to your ass, man. And the scorner is consumed. And all that watch for iniquity are cut off. So all that watch for iniquity. And Esau, he's the wicked one. Scripture said what? He don't go to this death, don't go to rest unless he done evil, man. It said, but this is the point, verse 21, that make a man and an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproof in the gate, and turn aside the just for a being of none. But like we're saying, man, these devils' main target, is pretty much the men of the Lord. And also they want to, like we said earlier, they want to get rid of the Bible, they want to get rid of the Constitution. But anybody that has any particular point that's speaking out against these devils, they pretty much planning the action last, right? But the beautiful part about it is that the elect is going to get the wrong of it, right? And all these pseudo camps, because they're going to use these pseudo camps, pretty much justify the protocols, right? That's what we see the UIC guys linking with the Nation of Islam.
The Nation of Islam.
That's why you're seeing videos of the through PK.
Yep.
Doing
all that military.
Yeah, doing all that military shit. You guys know the clips of Sakari going to camp with pipes and shit. They're gonna use all that. Not to say, we do believe that that our men of the elect and the sisters that may follow these camps, that's of the elect. We do believe that.
Yeah.
But we speaking to these leaders, man. These leaders sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's clear as day. These 501c3 charter niggas, man, they sold out. And they took the bag.
Absolutely.
And Esau gonna use what they have done, videos and clips and shit, right along with other fake shit, to pretty much demonize, the truth and justify them wrong. But the beautiful part about it, the elect ain't gonna get through all that.
Precept.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 16 and 71.
You speak on it. Go ahead.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So just like what the brothers was bringing up, the perfect precept go with that is, is Revelation 12 and 12. Coming down with great wrath, because he had with a short time. So Esau's gonna roll up on the men of the Lord, in the hopeful way. I'm gonna skip down. It says verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So we're gonna be going through it, but the ones that endure to the end, those gonna be the ones that the Lord's they're gonna be the Lord's chosen. They're gonna be the elect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're gonna be made manifest.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Romans 13.
That's it, 13. I knew 3 was in there. What'd I say? Romans 3?
Yeah.
Come on. That's it, bro. Go ahead, bring that out, bro. Because, hey, this pretty much this cruel Lord is setting up. Because us, man, we doing what we supposed to be doing, man. You know what I mean? And we do believe that, hey, we're gonna be delivered up. Some of us gonna be beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and some of us gonna be thrown in the prisons. But we're gonna be found blameless in this sense, man.
Hey,
Go ahead.
It's like go read Judges.
Come.
And read about that wicked dude, Abimelech.
Come, yeah, Abimelech.
Yeah. Remember, one of Gideon's sons told him, hey, just because you picked him to be your Lord, pretty much your ruler, he's going to turn on you.
Absolutely.
He's going to be the one that's going to turn on you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what is going to happen in spirit. That's what's going to happen to the 2/3. Why? You trust in oppression.
Absolutely.
You went down to the shadow of Egypt for him. So let him rule over you.
Yep.
And he's a cruel Lord. He don't give a fuck about you.
Absolutely, yeah.
This man don't even care about himself. This nigga's blocking out the sun. He's willing to, destroy the earth.
Yep.
Let me get that. Romans 13. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
3, 4 rules.
Now start at 1, bro.
Yeah, verse 13. So let every soul be subject unto high power.
Yeah, let every soldier be subject under the high powers, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord is telling us. What the scripture say? Agree with thy adversary quickly, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need. That's what Yahweh Shai was doing, man. You know what I'm saying? When he was delivered up, it wasn't no point for him. He already knew his fate anyway. He already knew their agenda against him anyway, man. No matter what, he could have said, he wouldn't have been able to get himself out that situation anyway, man. Go ahead.
But this scripture is this to know when it comes to what the MOTB.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
So you got the camps. You say it's subject to a high power.
Right,
So we gotta take that. No, nigga. No, nigga. Don't take that.
Don't take that, right?
This law doesn't apply when it comes to that.
Hey, the scripture say it. He said, you better pray with the most high power instead of men. You see what I'm saying? And we rather obey the Lord, man. All
It says, for there is no power but the Most High. The powers.
Yeah, because he said there's no power of the Most High because the Lord set up these, you know, saying entities in there, you know, to for the wicked and for the righteous. Okay. Go ahead, bro. In the kingdom of men.
Set up some basis.
Yeah.
He said, whether you thought you voted or not, he put Trump in office.
Yeah. Yeah.
He put this camp together.
Come.
He set Elon dirty ass up, you know, whether
Yep.
he know it or not. You know, and at the same time, we know that they just puppets.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of a controlled by the cabal of elites.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who controlled them? The Lord.
Lord, good.
You know?
Absolutely.
It says, the powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever therefore resist the powers is the orders of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're not justifying it in active victory on our own.
Exactly. Come.
You know, we got to be subject to this captivity. So
Absolutely.
the Lord. But
Absolutely.
when that MOTB roll out, the Lord said don't take that shit. That's when we like, no, nigga,
Yeah.
we ain't doing that. The Lord said don't do that.
Absolutely.
Because why? That's an idol.
Come.
And that's part of the command of the Lord. You should have no idols before me.
That's it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because in this system, we got Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Do we condone that?
Hell no.
We
Exactly.
got Islam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but do we go to the mosque? No. Now the Lord said what? Not to do that.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely.
It says, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Mhm.
You got the ayat, them niggas, yeah, we ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
No cowards.
Right.
What was the no coward spirit when you had to roll that sleeve up? with the
Exactly.
Shades on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about in Kenya?
Right, you see. Yeah.
Roll that no coward spirit. Then you stand bold out there.
Mm-hmm. To the death.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell up out of here, man. It
Yeah.
says, verse 3, for rulers are not a terror to good works.
Hey, you hear that? Rulers are not a terror of good works. You know, so if we out here doing what we supposed to do, watching as well as praying, you know, occupying until the Lord come, all right? Those rulers that the Lord put in place, these wicked rulers that the Lord put in place, is not a terror of us doing good works. You know, because we're showing our faith by our works. You know what I'm saying? And we're showing how much faith we got in the Lord, man. Okay, by occupying till the Lord come. So this ain't gonna be for us. Go ahead.
It says, wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Uh-huh.
Do that which is good. It said, do that which is good, and
Yep.
thou shalt have praise of the same.
Yeah.
For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good.
Hey, he's just a minister. Hey, Esau Edom, you know, in this cruel law is just a servant of the Most High power, and he's there, you know, for the wicked. Go
What
ahead.
he is, he's the physical manifestation of Satan. on
Come,
earth.
absolutely, yeah.
Who Satan, the spiritual demon Satan,
Mm-hmm.
serves.
Come, the Most High power, yeah, exactly. Just a
What this
minister.
devil, what this devil do it directly, you still serve the Lord.
Exactly.
You're
Whether
doing
you,
the bidding of the Lord on the left hand.
yeah.
To bring about the will that the Lord got for the right hand.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Absolutely.
What's the will of the Lord, ultimately at the end of the day, is for the electoral under who you call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
And them devils know that. That's why they trying to fight their way out the will. They really trying to fight against the will of the
Trying to
Lord.
rewrite the script.
Absolutely.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Hey, whether it's directly or indirectly, they serving the Lord. They ministers of the Lord. Dang, you see that fish or something? Look. You see it?
Apple called something.
No, that's that mug jumping up.
I thought what's name?
That's
A bird that
crazy.
went over there.
No, that mug was just
It was
jumping
just jumping out.
Yeah, we gotta come over here and fish. Go ahead, bro.
It
Slack.
says,
Yeah, Romans 13.
That's one right there
for,
too.
let me read it again. For
Yeah.
he is a minister of the Most High to thee
Uh-huh.
for good. For if thou do that which is evil, be afraid.
Mhm.
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
Right. If you do what's evil, then you gotta be afraid, man. Hey, we're not gonna be afraid, man. Okay? We're not gonna be afraid because, you know, hey, the authorities that the Lord, these wicked authorities that the Lord is putting in place is not for us, man. Because we ain't doing evil anymore, man. You know?
That's why it's so important to repent now, man.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're doing, man, get your shit together, man.
Yeah.
The doors of mercy is closed.
Absolutely.
Like, the Lord, he got the prophets out there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just that's you know his mercy. It's his
Huh.
hand is still stretched.
Yeah, the extension. Yeah, the
Mhm.
prophets are the extension of the Lord. You know? Go ahead, Reverend.
It says, for he
is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
Hey, you see that?
Psalm 17.
Con,
He's a
sword,
the
con.
sword of the Lord.
Yep.
Esau's the sword, and what he was blessed with.
Yeah.
Who gave him the sword?
Hey, Isaac, it was just Yahweh Shai. Absolutely, man. And that's what David said, man. Deliver me from thine enemy, which is thy sword, man. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, that sword was really put here to execute the Lord's vengeance. You know what I'm saying? That sword being Esau Edom, man. All right? And with that, 2/3 of our people, what he say? Judgment shall start at my sanctuary, you know, at the house of Israel first, man. So that's really not for the elect, man. You know? Hey, although, you know, we're going to be martyrs, you know, and witnesses, and the Lord is going to give us the words to say when they deliver us up to those prison houses or, you know, to our death. But guess what? We're going to be found blameless in the eyes of the Lord, man. You know? Absolutely, bro. Go ahead. There's more to it.
There's one more.
Go ahead.
It says, wherefore he must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake.
That's it.
So pretty much, we gotta just do what's right, man.
Yep.
Let's just say, should we then make mirth?
Right,
You
exactly.
know, the book of Ezekiel, man, knowing that the Lord is sharpening that sword,
Absolutely.
you know, for judgment.
Yep.
Should we make mirth?
Con.
It's like your dad, you know, getting that belt ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you better get your shit together, otherwise I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Absolutely.
You'll still be playing games and shit.
Right.
Dad tell you, hey, clean this motherfucking room up.
Gone. Yeah, absolutely.
Your mom may come in like, hey man, you better clean the room up. You getting that belt ready.
Yeah, and that sword is Esau Edom, man. And how he's getting sharpened and he's getting bolder. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is putting a bold, proud spirit, you know, on this devil, man. You know? And that's how he's sharpening and getting him ready, man, to come in like a flood. But the Lord is what he say. He's going to lift up what? A standard, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, we're going to be a standard in those days, man. And we're going to stand rooted and grounded like a flag is planted. We're not going to be tossed to and fro, man. You know, and we're going to understand, you know, even if, what he said, that you love like that, they love like their lives unto the death, man, even if it causes our death, man.
So every hair in your head is
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Lord, he's not unrighteous to forget
Your labor of
you.
love.
Labor of love.
Huh?
And this is a labor of love. We do this out of love.
Absolutely.
And we don't do this just to be seen or some shit to be doing. Oh, I gotta go teach.
Right,
You know,
right.
They,
It's a reasonable service.
yeah.
You know, I read like Paul said, it's our reasonable service, man. Man, we love to do this, man. You know?
Mad when you ain't getting with the spirit, ain't you? Like,
Nah.
man, you pray to the Lord, like, Lord, I need a lesson.
Yeah, but that's what it's about, though, man. You know, we just brought out this information, man, just to, you know, was it more, bro? Yeah, brought out this information, man, just to, you know, do our part, man, and you know, just try to bring the awareness to Jake, you know, and those like-minded, man, you know, to you know, be aware that we're not ignorant of this devil's devices, man. You know, and hey, listen, hey, prepare. You know, brace for the impact, man. You know, with that, you want to say something, bro? Yeah, with that, we're going to give all praises to Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, Baba Ball, Kum Yasharala, on to the next. Shalom.
Shalom.